Hi everybody. Today we're going to be going over the call and put walls here in OptionsWatch.io, and we're just going to go ahead and try to understand them a little bit better, and we're going to dive into how they work and how they function and how they can help you in your trading decisions. So they're very simple to access, and they're going to be on every single stock that you decide to work with. So in this case scenario, we will be working with the S&P 500, also known as SPY, and we can click this little gear icon up here at the top of our screen. When we click the little gear icon, it will ask us for our display settings, and we can either choose options OI, or also known as options open interest. Open interest will mean how many contracts are currently open, right? How many contracts are currently open and flowing within the market. The volume overlay will be the second option that we can choose from, and this will be the volume. This will be how many contracts are currently being traded within the trading day as of this present moment. All right, so we have two options. We can go ahead and start with open interest by clicking this little drop down. And now when we exit out of that, we can go ahead and see these little red and green bars all across the screen here. Okay, so you can see there's some big ones right here, and there's a plethora of little ones right here. So the first thing that we want to keep in mind is that these will be our puts on the left-hand side, and these will be our calls on the green side, on the right side. Okay, so remember that. And what these are basically telling us is that since we selected OI for open interest, then the larger the bar is, then the more open interest there will be on this particular put right here. And this call right here, as you can see, it's a much smaller bar, so that means that open interest is much lower on this little bar right here. Okay, so that's a quick example. And what's also important is that we select an appropriate expiration date up here. Okay, so I was currently on May 17th, which is 17 days out, third Friday of the month. Let's go ahead and select June 21st, which is 52 days out, and also the third Friday of the month. As you can see, there are a lot more of these bars that pop up, and some are very big, especially for the whole numbers, right? Like 490 right here, 500 right here. And all this is telling us is that there is an abundance of puts and calls with high open interest. Let's check it out for ourselves. So I can move the striker up to the 490 call up here, right, with these very large green bars. And this one right here too. We'll check out both. So if I click on the 490, we can see that there is an open interest of approximately 54,000, which is quite a bit. So let's go ahead and move the cursor to a bar that is much smaller. Maybe this one, this small one right here. Let's move it. That's going to be a 493 call. And our open interest of the last one was 54,000. And for the 493, our open interest is 10,000. So much smaller. And there you can see the correlation why there's a smaller bar here and a much larger bar here. Same thing with the 500 call right here. If we go to the 500 call, probably quite a bit, right? Open interest 59,000. Okay, so that's also basically all it's going to mean. And when you're using these, when you're interpreting these numbers, you can use them as a key support and resistance level. That's pretty much all it comes down to. Okay, a key support and a resistance level. So we have a key support level of 500. We have a key support level at 490. It's the exact same concept for a put as well. Okay, so with a put, on the left-hand side, we can see that there is a large amount of open interest for the 490 put, a large amount of open interest for the 480, and some of these ones as well. The 485s right here. Okay, so those are going to be some key levels and some key areas where those puts will be sitting for open interest. Okay, so what we can also look at is the volume by again clicking on this little gear icon, and when we do that, we can click on this little display and we can click on vol, and then we can see that the bars change quite a bit. There's not as many here, and we can see that there was a large amount of volume for the put side for around 480 down here. So if I move my cursor down here, we can see the volume 24,729 for the 480 puts. Okay, if I move it down to this bigger one right here, 481, you can see our volume is around 50,000, 49,000 right here. Okay, so almost 50,000 puts in volume. And if I move it to something extremely small like the 486, then we can see that there is a small bar right there. If I click on it, a volume of only 388. So these are good tools that you can use for for picking your trades wisely, right? Making sure you're getting into trades with high volume, high open interest as a good method for liquidity, making sure you can get in and out of your trades with ease, and you're not joining in on some random contracts that have very small open interest and volume that no one else is trading. So that is how you can use OI and volatility and these put and call walls to your advantage. Hopefully you found this helpful and found some good value out of it. See you on the next one.